Hey there, guys. Today I wanted to talk to you about not being afraid of being single. I see a lot of guys out there, and I've definitely been guilty of it of myself in the past, that would rather stay in a bad relationship or rush into a relationship that doesn't really fit them too well just because they don't want to be single. It's not healthy at all if the fear of being single or being alone keeps you in a bad relationship or drives you to get into a relationship that's not really a good fit for you. Speaking from my own experience, after I got divorced when I was younger, I had met another girl pretty quickly and got into another serious relationship. The relationship I got into overall was pretty good, but towards the end, things started to go sideways and it became a toxic relationship. But at the time, I was pretty insecure in myself, and a lot of my happiness came from the other person I was in the relationship with. And instead of ending the relationship when I should have and walking away, I stayed in the relationship because I was more afraid of being single or being alone. As a man, you need to be okay with being alone. You almost need to embrace it. It's a time for you to be single and to be able to focus on yourself and to get to know yourself in a better way and to really love yourself. See, when you're single, you can almost be selfish in a way, right? Because you don't have someone that you're dating that you have to be worried about. You can be selfish and focus all your time and your effort on yourself and not another person in a relationship. You can focus on, getting in shape if you want to, hitting the gym, making sure you have a good diet, go back to school to get that career that you want, or even focusing on some hobbies that you never had a chance to really explore before when you're in a relationship, right? You got to really enjoy your time by yourself and embrace it and use it as a time to kind of focus in on yourself and do the things you really want to do. One thing that I noticed too is that when you're single, society or your friends or family or certain people put a lot of pressure on you to get into a relationship, right? I remember when I was single, and not too long ago before I met my current wife, my friends that were married and my family, every time I saw them, it always came up. Hey, are you seeing anyone? You talking to anybody? When are you going to meet somebody? When are you going to get married? And I was a little bit older at the time. I was probably about 33, 34 at the time. So as you get older, the expectation there is not for you to be some old guy, single alone, living in an apartment that you have, that you're in a relationship. But I'm here to tell you, like, you don't have to listen to those people, right? When you meet somebody, you'll meet somebody. When you're alone, you're happy alone, right? Just because that other person in your life is putting pressure on you to get in a relationship because maybe they're in a relationship and they want to see you in one too, don't feel the need to kind of cave to their pressure. And honestly, this probably comes from them not being happy in their relationship or wishing they were single and on their own, and they're just kind of reflecting their feelings onto you and trying to make you feel bad about not being in a relationship. One thing that's super important when you're single is you got to take the time and you got to love yourself, right? Because the old saying, and it's really true. As I've gotten older, I've realized how true this is. You can't love someone else until you truly love yourself. And if you're jumping from long-term relationship to long-term relationship, you never have time to be by yourself and really understand who you are by yourself and really kind of reflect on that and kind of love yourself. In other words, when you're single, you have freedom, right? Not saying that in a relationship you're tied down or you got to feel like you're trapped, but when you're in a relationship, you got to put that other person's you got to consider that other person's feelings and what they want and where they want to go or who they want to hang out with, right? So when you're single, you don't have to worry about that. You could do whatever you want with whoever you want whenever you want, right? It's a time for you to kind of really figure out and do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. When you're in a relationship, a lot of your time and effort goes into the person you're with. Rightfully so. You're in a relationship. That person should be your friend. Personally, my wife is my best friend, so it makes sense when you're in a relationship. But when you're single, it gives you opportunity to really make and have really good close friends. Platonic friends, and also become really close and have good close ties and connections to your kids if you have them, or your siblings, or your parents too, right? Because you have that bandwidth and the time that doesn't have to go to your significant other. You have the time to give to those other people's in your life, which is always good. So long story short, guys, it's okay to be single. Don't be afraid to be single, and don't let anyone else tell you you should be in a relationship, or feel pressured if they ask you, hey, why aren't you in a relationship? How come you haven't met somebody? How come you're not married? Don't feel pressured to do it. It's your life. You do it on your schedule. You do it when you want to. And when you're single, just really enjoy that time. Really embrace it, right? Because you will eventually meet somebody else, and you'll get into a great relationship, and those things will come. So take the time when you're on your own to really enjoy it, and to enjoy being by yourself. All right, guys, that's all I got on this one. I appreciate the time. Catch you on the next one. Thanks.